Greetings, everyone, and a warm welcome. In this video lecture, I will discuss the topic parametric statistical techniques. Let us try to understand the parametric statistical techniques. Parametric statistical techniques are a class of statistical methods that make assumptions about the underlying distribution of the data. These techniques are widely used in hypothesis testing and parameter estimation. Here are some key parameters and considerations when using parametric statistical techniques. Normality assumption. Parametric methods often assume that the data follows a normal distribution. This assumption is crucial for accurate results, especially in methods like t-tests and analysis of variance, ANOVA. Normality can be checked using graphical methods like histograms and quantile QQ plots, or statistical tests like the Shapiroval test or Anderson-Darling test. 2. Homogeneity of variance. Parametric tests assume homogeneity of variance, meaning that the variance of the dependent variable is approximately equal across different levels of the independent variable. Levin's test or Bartlett's test can be used to assess homogeneity of variance. 3. Level of measurement. Parametric tests are most appropriate for interval or ratio scale data. For example, variables like height, weight, and temperature are suitable for parametric analysis. Nominal or ordinal data may require non-parametric methods. 4. Sample size. The validity of parametric tests is often influenced by sample size. As a general guideline, larger sample sizes increase the power of statistical tests. Small sample sizes may lead to violations of normality assumptions, making non-parametric tests more suitable. 5. Central limit theorem. The central limit theorem states that, regardless of the original distribution, the distribution of sample means tends to be normal as the sample size increases. Parametric methods often rely on this theorem to justify their use even when the underlying data is not perfectly normal. 6. Assumption checks. Before applying parametric tests, it is essential to check the assumptions. This includes normality, homogeneity of variance, and independence of observations. Outliers should also be identified and addressed, as they can impact the results. 7. Parametric tests. Different parametric tests have specific parameters. For example, a t-test involves parameters such as the mean, standard deviation, and sample size. ANOVA involves parameters like the between-group variability, within-group variability, and degrees of freedom. 8. Confidence intervals. Parametric methods often provide confidence intervals around the estimated parameters. These intervals provide a range of values within which the true population parameter is likely to fall. 9. Type I and Type 2 errors. Understanding the concepts of Type I, false positive, and Type 2, false negative, errors is crucial. The significance level, alpha, is a parameter that determines the probability of committing a Type I error. 10. Power analysis. Power analysis involves estimating the probability of correctly rejecting a false null hypothesis, one Type 2 error. It depends on factors like effect size, sample size, and significance level. What are various common parametric statistical techniques? 1. T-test. The t-test involves estimating the mean difference between two groups. It is commonly used to determine if there is a significant difference between the means of two groups. The independent samples t-test is used when comparing means of two independent groups, while the paired samples t-test is used when the samples are related, example, before and after measurements on the same subjects. Example, suppose you want to assess whether there is a significant difference in the average scores of two groups of students who were taught using different teaching methods. An independent samples t-test can be applied to the scores of the two groups. 2. ANOVA. Analysis of variance. ANOVA estimates the variation among group means. ANOVA is employed when comparing means across three or more groups. It helps determine if there are any statistically significant differences among the means. Example: consider a study comparing the average income levels of people in 3 different cities. A one-way ANOVA could be used to analyze whether there is a significant difference in income levels among the 3 cities. 3. Correlation analysis. The correlation coefficient, commonly denoted by R, is a parameter used in correlation analysis. It ranges from -1 to 1, where -1 indicates a perfect negative linear relationship, 1 indicates a perfect positive linear relationship, and 0 indicates no linear relationship. Correlation analysis is employed to assess the strength and direction of the linear relationship between two continuous variables. It helps to quantify how well changes in one variable can be predicted by changes in another. Example: consider a study investigating the relationship between hours of study and exam scores. A correlation analysis might reveal a positive correlation, suggesting that as the number of study hours increases, the exam scores tend to increase. The correlation coefficient would quantify the strength and direction of this relationship. 4. Regression analysis. Regression analysis estimates the slope and intercept of the regression line. Regression analysis is used to model the relationship between a dependent variable and one or more independent variables. It helps in predicting the values of the dependent variable based on the values of the independent variables. Example: in business, linear regression might be applied to understand the relationship between advertising expenditure and sales. The model can predict how changes in advertising spending might impact future sales. Thank you, everyone. If you're passionate about education and teacher training, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel Education and Teacher Education at Shokeen Bilal.